First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and I'd like to thank the family for letting me say a few words for Peter out of the Bible. I thank God every time I remember you in all my prayers for all of you. I always pray with you because of your partnership, gospel from first day until now, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. It is right for me to feel this way about you, all of you, since I have you in my heart. For whether I'm in chains or defending and confirming the gospel, all of you share in God's grace with me. God can testify how I long for all of you with the affection of Christ Jesus. And this is my prayer, that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you may be able to discern what is best and may be pure and blameless until the day of Christ, filled with the fruit of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ, to the glory and praise of God. Do you know, have you not heard, the Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, in his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Excuse me, just 1 second here. Now the dwelling of God is with man, and he lived with them. Now this is his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Peter will miss you, and we all love you. I think you'd be very proud to see everybody here tonight.
Okay, Allison?
Thanks, Lisa.
My name's Allison Youngquist, and I'm Pete's second cousin, and I'm 10 years old, and now I'm going to sing Amazing Grace.
Jana's going to lead us all in the Lord's Prayer.
All join me if you want, but those who don't want to go with me, they don't have Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Very good. Very nice.
Nice job.
And then just last is, this is especially for Peter.
That's on track one.
Ask if anybody wants to get upset.
Oh, I will. Oh, should I ask before? Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll just open it up to whoever wants to come up and say something. Not you, come on.
Lily, come on.
Kelly.
And you don't necessarily have to come up. You can just say it from where you're at. This room's so little.
Okay, Vicky's waving me on. When I heard about this, the things that came to my mind about Peter, and I emailed this to Judy. Mom and Catherine did everything together. And so I always remember Wednesday mornings, Mom getting all of us in the car, all 6 of us, going over and picking up Catherine and Peter, and off we'd go to Riverview. So I said, and I remember it was 10-cent rides. Of course, Judy corrected me. They were 3-cent rides. And then on Thursday mornings, we'd all get back in the car, go back over and pick up Catherine and Peter, and garage sale day. We had a garage sale all day long. Of course, Peter and I hated it because we had to stay in the car with all the little ones, and we didn't want to go garage selling. But those are the funny stories I remember way back when we were younger.
I'll just share a little something. You know, we have 54 first cousins, you know, and he was one of the oldest and I was one of the youngest, but he worked at Little Caesars Pizza, delivering pizza, and I lived right next door to Little Caesars, so I got to know him best back in probably 2000 was when he worked there, and he would come on his lunch breaks or in between pizzas, or if he had an extra pizza that's messed up, he always dropped it off because there's always plenty of people at my house to eat it. So Pete loved to have a good time, and he loved to laugh. I think everyone remembers him most for that laugh of his. Nobody will ever replicate it or duplicate it, but we're all sure gonna miss it.
I'd like to say that Dave and I pretty much grew up with Pete. We rode motorcycles. We hung out at with Catherine and Pete Senior, and spent a lot of time there. And we ravaged the refrigerator. Then we usually hit my house next, and then we'd do that. Then we'd go over to Dave's house. Then we'd decide when we were going to go ride motorcycles or mess with cars or whatever we were going to do. But there were a lot of years of a lot of good times, and I don't think many people knew Pete as well as we did, and he was just a genuine good person, with a little bit of a rough exterior that really took time to be his friend and really know the wealth of the soul that was in that guy, the friendliness, the kindness, the love. He'd bend over backwards if you were short on cash when he had no money to make sure that you got this shirt that you wanted, or there's a lot more to him than you can possibly explain. And he went through some rough times, but he was doing really good in the last year to 2 years, and just kept trying to get him to go get some health care and stuff. He was just deadly afraid of it, just deadly afraid of it. I'm sure sorry to lose my good friend at this young age, And I'm also glad to have him with God and have his soul resting in peace and not battling the battle. So, love you, Pete. We're going to miss you.
One thing I remember about Peter, is how much he loved his mother
Oh, man.
and how much she loved him. And
The whole family was such a great, fine, loving group.
and one day she lost him in the grocery store, and she was almost hysterical, saying, "Oh, I've lost my little Peter." Oh, Catherine, could you call him something else today if you're going to talk that loud? But we laughed and we laughed at that, and he always kissed her and told her he loved her when he came in and when he left.
And that little dog they had, Michiko.
He was a terror.
Oh, man. That was fun.
He
was an ankle biter.
Good times. A little dirt bike track behind the
Michiko,
garage.
Michiko, 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 Michiko.
It was actually Peter's dog that Catherine confiscated.
Oh, I thought it was Mrs. Cactus's.
No.
Oh, it was Peter's dog.
Thank you. You're welcome,
I
buddy.
can tell you some stories about going up to that lake house, but I better
What's one gonna hurt?
We can visualize it.
We'll just pretend.
We found a neighbor's boat we really liked, and it ran well. We put it back.
Ever find out?
No, I don't think so. We always put stuff back. Might not have as much gas in it as it did.
Boys, come on.
Did they know it was missing?
Never did.
She's not Mama.
It was always fun to see the families from Minnesota come down and visit, you know. Remember this guy when he was little. And him too.
Yeah.
I went up there a little bit and visited Minnesota.
Now you're from where?
Maryland.
Maryland?
You
Yeah, I
flew from
lived in
Maryland.
Des Moines, grew up
Yeah.
in Des Moines until I was 16 and moved to Texas. And then when I got out of college, I did a tour on a motorcycle and broke down by their place and spent the summer.
That's a good deal.
Yeah,
That's convenient.
it was fun. And Dave had a Trans Am, and because Pete was older than us, Pete was the driver. So
Oh, you love
we
that.
were like
Trans
14,
Am.
Pete was 16, so he got to drive.
Was that the Trans Am with the license plate, Fred, or was that someone else? What was the license plate say on Peter's Trans Am, or whoever's?
Oh, what was that called?
I know.
His first life?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that was
know.
on, yeah, that was on Pete's Trans.
Okay, Pete got one, I know, I remember the Trans Am story.
I bought that car from him, took it back to Texas.
Did ya?
It was a good car. He was a great guy, man. We had so much fun. And last time I was here, I took him out to dinner, and he wanted to go to this all-you-could-eat place. And he got finished, and I said, "You can't be done. You got to be able to eat more than that." Didn't even get my money's worth. So we rested a while, and then went round two.
How long ago was that?
I think we were there for about 3-4 hours.
How long ago was this, a couple years ago?
Oh, no, just a couple months ago.
Oh, really? You were just in town, huh?
Yeah, and then, right back and forth Facebook stuff. I don't know if you can get on it, but it was pretty juvenile.
Juvenile.
Yeah.
I thought maybe for some of those of you that we didn't know, maybe we could go around and just say who you are and how you knew Pete. I'll start it. I was his second cousin, Lisa, so.
I'm Lori, I was his first cousin.
I didn't know Pete very well, but best friends with Jim and Joyce. And did they come? They didn't make it up.
No, they couldn't come back from Florida.
Yeah, they were in Florida, I know.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the brothers. Judy, I knew Judy was.
Judy's not here today, that's my mom. Yeah, she's in Florida too.
Oh, she is?
Well, what the plan was there was gonna be originally, it was gonna be a memorial service later on, and then Lisa put this together, we're glad you did, Lisa. You know, it's, obviously everything happened so fast, and, you know, they were trying to decide what we were gonna do, and, you know, there was no plot or anything. Paul Kondes ended up giving us the 3 plots next to Pete and Catherine. So, which was, you know, we didn't know if we were gonna be cremated or what was gonna happen here, you know.
You're Judy and Don's son?
Yeah, yeah, I'm Sean. Yeah. So Peter's gonna be buried next to his parents, which is nice. We were over there earlier this morning, or this afternoon.
Any idea when that is?
It's probably gonna be when Jim and Joyce and my mom and dad down and Judy come back, probably April or May.
We'll make sure to let you know when it is.
Yeah, so Peter's lucky he's gonna get 2 services.
Yeah, he could only know.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, it came to, it was a pretty big shock. You know, I'm Peter's nephew, Sean. I was the bad influence on Peter. Oh, yeah.
Isn't there a Jack, is a son named, one of his brothers named Jack too?
Yeah, this is Jack's son and Jack's wife Sharon right here.
We lost him.
Yeah, Jack passed away.
I don't know, I've ever met Jack with his wife.
Jack was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he was.
So was Jim.
I never really knew Jim.
Well, you might be lucky.
Crazy.
Yeah, all the, you know, Peter's, well, all 3 of the, Jim, Jack, and Judy all lived in Minneapolis, so everybody, I think, probably knows Peter came and lived in Minneapolis for a while, and he always talked about coming back, but he came back this last summer. Jim came down and picked him up, and we were able to visit with Peter. You know, Jim bought Pete and Catherine's old place, so Peter came down for a week, and you know, everybody knows Peter likes to eat. I think he ate Jim out of house and home. And I don't know if Jim gave him a ride back or he took the bus, but you know, and then he was going to plan on doing it this summer as
He
well.
really had a good time. He just talked about it
Yeah.
over and over and showed me pictures and really, really enjoyed himself.
Yeah, I was planning on having Peter come up and stay with me, you know, because he said he wanted to come back and visit, but.
I don't know if you guys knew he had a little tire business going.
I found that out, yeah.
Turning tires. I was sending text messages all the time, how many tires you get today, and he was up into 10 and 15 tires. And
$55 a piece. Were they?
had some.
Where would he get these tires?
Well, that's what the.
He go around tire stores and the ones that they gotta pay to get rid of them anyway.
Okay.
You go and just grab them,
Get the good
throw them
ones.
back in their white truck.
Oh, we got the white, there's a bunch of them there right now.
And he goes, he had a couple of different places he can take them, and they give him $5 a piece. All their used tires, he go out and pick out all the
You got
tire.
free, so it's all
Yeah,
fine.
Talking about getting my cookbook and log in and see what kind of movies maybe. There's a business there. Every morning.
So after Pete's dad died, we went over to the house over on 48th, Jim and Joyce was making it or something over there. Did Peter continue to live there then?
No, it sold shortly after that. We decided that, you know, Peter needed to get his own place, and I think he got this apartment down here, wasn't it, shortly afterwards?
No maintenance was really a good thing for him.
No maintenance.
Pay the rent and come.
Well, Peter was living over there in the garage. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I knew that.
I don't think that was a secret.
Oh, I knew that.
So, but he snuck in the house quite a bit.
Especially right now.
I'm Lori, I'm Peter's first cousin. And the way I remember Peter is he was my chauffeur for my second wedding in 1997. And he got us lost going to the reception. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Peter had a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
Bouncer, limo driver, pizza delivery.
That's it.
Tire guy.
But he never went along without working. He always had, you know, a work ethic.
And he was pretty enthusiastic in whatever he was doing. You know, I will say when Peter was in Minneapolis, though, he sure knew a lot of people. At that, you know, Peter liked to go to the nightclubs and the bars and whatnot. And I think at one time Peter probably knew more people than anybody else. But it's probably good he got out of the Twin Cities.
He was a people person, huh?
Yeah, he was. People liked Peter. And if he liked you, boy, he'd brag about you. I mean, just constantly brag about you.
I'm Marilyn, another first cousin. I'm the Laverne.
I'm Lorraine. I'm Catherine's sister.
I am Brett Kondes. I'm Peter's nephew.
I'm Jen Frederick, and I'm Peter's aunt.
I'm Sharon Kondes, and I'm Peter's sister-in-law.
And I'm Vicki Smith, and I'm Peter's first cousin.
I'm Douglas Frederick, and I'm